stepping up to the podium. It looks like Governor Gianforte is there to address. Let's join him.
Devastation struck this small Montana community of Anaconda. 1 week ago today, Michael Paul Brown took the lives of 4 Montanans before fleeing the scene. Our brave men and women in uniform didn't waste a second. Law enforcement jumped into action, began the search with the promise to not give up until they found this suspect. Today, I'm grateful to report that Michael Brown has been apprehended, arrested, and is in custody. Standing alongside me today are members of our local, state, and federal law enforcement partners who haven't stopped searching since the very beginning. They responded to every call. They followed up on every tip. They spent hours climbing over these mountains looking for this criminal. They used every resource available to them to search for him. Thank you does not cover what we owe to these brave men and women. Sacrifice, time away from families, placing their lives on the line to bring peace of mind back to this community and this criminal to justice. Before I hand it over to Attorney General Knudsen to share more about the actual arrest, I'd like to once again acknowledge the loss of the 4 victims. Daniel Edwin Bailey, Nancy Loretta Kelly, David Allen Leach, and Tony Wayne Palm. And extend our prayers to their families. Thank you for remembering them and doing what you can to support those families. At this time, I'd like to invite Attorney General Knudsen to provide an update on the apprehension and the arrest.
Thank you, Mr. Governor. Good afternoon. It's a good day. We got our man. Michael Paul Brown is in custody. He was arrested today, 1 week later at approximately 2 p.m. this afternoon. That's roughly. He was apprehended just west of Anaconda, near the Ranch Bar, just south of Highway 1. There's a number of agencies we have to thank here. First of all, what I've been hearing just over and over is this really is an unprecedented level of cooperation. State agencies, local agencies, and federal agencies, this was seamless, folks. This is not the type of thing that you see very often. With all the federal partners, our state agencies, and our local law enforcement agencies working hand in hand to make sure that the right thing gets done here, that is nothing short of staggering. I want to thank Anaconda Deer Lodge Police Department, Montana DCI obviously was involved, the FBI, the U.S. Marshal Service. I really want to give them a special thank you. The Marshal Service was a huge asset to us here today, all week, but today especially. They were directly involved with this apprehension. We had over 39 local, county, state, federal teams, well over 250 law enforcement personnel in the area. Specifically involved in the takedown today of Michael Paul Brown, the U.S. Marshals Service Fugitive Task Force, Montana DCI. I want to give a special shout out to the U.S. Marshals specialized team members, their SOG team and the RAM team, the Rapid Advance Manhunt team with the U.S. Marshal Service. Game changer for us, big help. Also involved, the Montana Highway Patrol. I'm very proud of the Montana Patrol troopers who were involved in this. They've been here all week. Big help to us. The U.S. Forest Service has been a tremendous help to us, and we're involved today. Great Falls PD were involved in the takedown today, and the Laurel Police Department. So thank you to all of our members. Look, this was a hard push. Yesterday we had about 130 personnel up on that hill pushing that area. We think that was directly correlated to flushing him out today, getting him down into an area that we know we had searched before. It's not someplace he'd been hiding. He was flushed out. So also thanks to the public. We had some tips come in, verified where we were. and we were able to move really quickly and get our suspect apprehended. So it's a great day for Montana. It's a great day for Anaconda. I hope you folks sleep well. We're probably going to go celebrate a little bit here, but this is a great day. So thank you.
Thank you, Attorney General. And now a few words from Anaconda Deer Lodge County Attorney Morgan Smith. Morgan?
Thanks, Governor. I want to talk right to the people of Anaconda. And I'm going to try my best. When Chief Souther and I first spoke about the terrible crime that occurred at the Owl Bar on Friday morning, there were two things that we discussed. The first of those was, how do we keep Anaconda safe? And how do we collectively tell Anaconda that we're going to do that? Chief told me that the only press conference he wanted to be part of was the one where we got to come here and say, we got him. Chief and I have, of course, spent the last 7 days having many conversations, but Chief's only concern remained, how do we tell Anaconda we got him? Chief, I don't know where you ended up, but today's that day. The work that our local officers, standing arm in arm with U.S. Marshals, federal agents, and members from law enforcement communities all across Montana, the work that you all did was incredible. It's often tireless and thankless work, but I hope that you find that the work that you did, those of you that participated in any portion of what happened this week, that the entire community of Anaconda is going to sleep tonight and truly rest. In full transparency, for myself and many of us involved in this isn't the end, this is the beginning. I'm confident in the investigative work that has been done to this point, and I'm also incredibly confident in the folks that are going to continue to do investigative work to make sure we can prosecute this case to the fullest extent of the law. With the relief that comes today, I know that tomorrow will bring many questions. The manhunt has come to an end, but the homicide investigation remains ongoing. Details related to that investigation will be withheld, and that's to ensure the fairness and the integrity of the case as it moves forward. I cannot possibly find the words that are appropriate to thank everybody who has worked so hard this week. It's going to take us weeks to just write down the folks, the businesses, the individuals, the organizations, all of these people behind me that contributed in some way to this. Meals, snacks, beverages, lodging, a physical space for a command center, supplies. The way the Anaconda community showed up to assist these folks doing the work that they did is going to take us a really long time to be able to appropriately thank. And I'd be remiss to stand up here and say that we are so sorry to the families of Daniel, David, Nancy, and Tony for all that you have had to endure, and know that we are going to do everything that we can to bring you the justice that your families deserve. Thanks.
Thanks. So once again, on behalf of all the people of Montana, thank you to our law enforcement officers from all 38 or 39 different jurisdictions that came together and really collaborated to bring a decisive conclusion to this search. And to the families of those that lost lives, may God bless you and keep you. At this time, we'll open up for questions. I would ask that you please raise your hand, state your name and outlet, and we'll do our best to answer. Over here.
I'm Duncan Adams, Montana Standard. Was the suspect armed when he was apprehended, and did he resist?
I'm going to defer details about the arrest to law enforcement, or Austin, do you want to take it?
Yeah, we're going to be real careful about this, Duncan. I mean, was he technically armed? Yes, he was technically armed. I don't know how much further I want to go with that.
All right, you have been watching a press conference from Anaconda, where where Governor Greg Gianforte, Attorney General Austin Knudsen, and Deer Lodge County Attorney Morgan Smith addressed the press today about the apprehension of Michael Brown after a week, thanking all the law enforcement agencies involved. And we're going to have much more on this press conference tonight for you at 10. MTN's Megan Thompson has been following this case very closely since day one, and she has a recap of the series of events that ultimately led to Brown's capture.
1 week after a gunman walked into this bar in Anaconda, Montana, and killed 4 people, a massive manhunt has come to an end as the suspect has been taken into custody. Let's take a look at a timeline of the events leading up to Michael Brown's arrest. On August 1st at 10:30 in the morning, a gunman enters the Owl Bar in Anaconda and shoots the bartender and 3 patrons. At 12:30 in the afternoon, a police pursuit involving the suspect in a stolen white pickup truck races through Anaconda. The suspect is lost west of town along Stumptown Road. At 2 in the afternoon, police identify the suspected shooter as 45-year-old Michael Paul Brown of Anaconda. At 10 o'clock in the evening, Montana Department of Criminal Investigation holds a press conference outside the bar announcing they are taking over the investigation, and the manhunt continues west of town. On August 3rd, Montana Attorney General Austin Knudsen holds a press conference identifying the victims as Daniel Bailey, Nancy Kelly, David Leach, and Tony Palm. A $7,500 reward for tips leading to Brown's arrest is announced. On August 5th at 11 in the morning, Governor Greg Gianforte holds a press conference at the Anaconda Courthouse and announces the release of emergency funds to support law enforcement in the manhunt. The reward is up to $10,000. At 2 in the afternoon, Anaconda officials canceled the city's annual Smelterman's Day Festival and Parade that was scheduled for August 8th through the 10th. On August 6th, law enforcement expands the search area for Michael Brown farther west of town, and investigators continue to conduct interviews and follow up on tips. On August 8th at 2 in the afternoon, suspect Michael Brown is apprehended outside of the Ranch Bar located on Highway 1 west of Anaconda. In Anaconda, Megan Thompson, MTN News.